My name is Tania, and I am a new director of Central for Financial Management Studies at SOAS, University of London. So welcome to the presentation of what can Central for Financial Management Studies do for you. We are a part of University of London and as one of these providers. And to briefly explain a little bit about University of London, for if any of you is not that familiar with the University of London. Oh, my voice is lagging. Goodness. Is it any better, Haris? Any better? I guess it's getting better. Yes, fantastic. I got just a message that my internet connection is unstable. And we're going to talk about, just let me know if something is not doing that well throughout the presentation. Sorry about that. It's just internet connection, nothing more than that. Again, welcome everyone. And I'll put here the chat on my screen. So welcome everyone. Let me guide you through the presentation today. So welcome to SOAS University of London. This is we do this FMS program as a part of University of London. For those of you who are not very familiar with it, University of London is a part of what we call a golden triangle of British higher education. So you have Oxford and Cambridge and University of London. So University of London is founded in 1836. And at the moment it has 75,000 students in the UK. So it was the first university, probably the first university in the world where where students could study online, study on a distance. In 1836, when Britain was an empire, so students couldn't stay and spend time there if they have a secondment to go somewhere abroad on in some of the parts of the British Empire in the sometime let me just turn off my camera. Better? Any better now? So fantastic. I'm so sorry, like I am on talk internet provider and it just doesn't work properly, but this is good, and I'll tell you why this is good as we go forward. So where are we now? We are still on the history part. So 1836, when we have students from England who have been sent over to the colonies, to the empire, and to do their work there, and they couldn't study at Cambridge and Oxford. Distance learning programs since 1836 it has been changed since 1836, where when we were shipping the materials, in big containers on the boats from, let's say, London to South Africa. Now we don't have to do it that way. We can now just have everything digitally, which is quite easier to organize for all of us. And at the moment we have 55,000 students in 180 different countries. So basically, the whole world, almost the whole world, is here. So we have around 100 years of experience of teaching on distance, which really gives us a bit of a grounding and a bit of a foundation, which you can find only at the University of London. And being at SOAS, we are really proud to be a part of the 17 colleges and 10 institutes who deliver distance learning in such a way. Indeed, there is a global reputation for teaching and research and distance learning. So SOAS joined University of London in 1916, and that's where we all began. As a part of SOAS distance learning programs, we have CEFIM, Center for Finance and Management Studies. We are a department at SOAS, and we offer master's programs by distance learning. At the moment, we have around 2,000 students. They are located in over 160 countries and enrolled in our lovely program. Also, as a sister centers at SOAS, we also have Center for Development, Environment and Policy, CEDEP, and Center for International Studies and Diplomacy, CISD. So depending whether you would like to do something on management, finance or development policy or international diplomacy and international studies and diplomacy, you're very welcome to come to us at SOAS. Our Center for Finance and Management Studies, at the moment, we are offering MSc master's programs, postgraduate diploma programs, postgraduate certificate, and individual professional awards. So I'm going to guide you through how this is all connected and awarded, and how this is all organized to get into the master's program. Students can opt to take individual professional award. This is simply by taking one module. For instance, you need to know something about risk management. At work, you're kind of stuck between how to organize or how to organize the project appraisal or something like that. So you simply you already have a master's degree and you don't need much more. You only need one program, one module. So you would opt for individual professional award. But if you want to continue from that, you can. And if you do 2 modules, you gain a postgraduate certificate. If you gain 4 modules, you get a postgraduate diploma. And 6 modules, you do MSc degree. And what we have on offer here is MSc or PG Cert or PG Diploma in Finance and Financial Law, Finance Banking, Finance and Economic Policy, Finance and Financial Sector Management, Finance Quantitative Finance, International Business Administration, Public Financial Management, and Public Policy and Management. So what is quite important to note for CEFIM's programs is that dissertation is not a core module to take. You can take a dissertation as your elective module, but you don't have to do it. It is just that if you want to take a dissertation as a module, you need to take a research methods course and need to send a research proposal, but it is not obligatory. Also, like for instance, you thought about doing MSc program, but all of a sudden you have you decided you have some extra work to do, or you simply can't manage it. You can always exit. and you will be awarded the degree depending on the level you have reached. If you have done one module, you will be awarded International Professional Award. Two modules, certificate. Four modules, it will be a diploma. So you have uh, this particular uh, point at hand. We are offering. These are the diploma courses which you can which we can which we offer as a part of yes depending Hari's a very good question. Uh, for some programs you can choose any six modules, like for instance for public policy and management and public financial management you have any six modules of your choice to take. But for some programs, like for instance international business administration, you have you have the list what is listed under each MS program. It is basically a list of modules. You can sometimes take a module which is not on the list, and if your program director allows that, and we usually do that without any without any problem, you can take another module which is available without any problem. But check what is listed under your MSc program which you want to take. That's the main option. And this is PG certificate programs are the same, and these are individual professional awards. This is the list of most of the modules we have, and which you can take as individual professional award. If you are at the moment, if you're gonna have few new program, a few new modules are coming. Watch the space. We're gonna have some extra modules just about to be prepared and put forward here. What makes SAFMs a bit different than other MSc programs is because we don't have lectures on this program. This is geared for the people who work full-time or part-time, and do not need to wake up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning if they are located somewhere in the United States, Canada, Uruguay, Barbados, to take the lectures. But you have the units which are prepared for yourself, and you have a tutor and the units, and you are guided how to study those units by your tutor and by the study materials themselves. So there are no lectures as any Zoom lectures, any online lectures, but everything goes on distance. It's a very flexible program, and allows you to do studying in your own time. However, there are 4 sessions when we are starting. At the moment, we have just started with the session 2, started on 25th of January. Session 3 application deadline is February 15. Enrollment date is March the 1st, and the date and the start date. No pre-recorded lectures. we don't operate on lectures at all in this kind of a level. This is online learning, and this is completely different than what we do here. Here we guide you through we guide you through the program, and we have the tutors which help you to go through. We find that, and students find it much better than having simply pre-recorded lectures, because it gives you more scope to work on your materials, and this is constructed in a way that you basically are guided much better than having like pre-recorded lectures. It's in a real time guiding through your materials and through what you need. So there is you can't compare it the lecture material with the guidance you get when you're doing it in such a way. This has been like that for last 100 years, and we continue the same way right now. So we didn't envisage pre-recorded lectures yet at this particular point. So we have so MSc Accounting and Finance in distance learning. We don't have plans to do MSc Accounting and Finance. We would do we have program quantitative finance, but MSc Accounting and Finance at the moment we're not gonna do on distance learning. I'm not sure. For as far as I know, there will be no plans to join it in the foreseeable future. So this is what we have. These are the programs, the MSc programs which we have at the moment: finance and financial law, finance and banking, finance and economic policy, finance and financial sector management, finance and quantitative finance, international business administration, public financial management, and public policy and management, but not accounting and finance, because we have ACCA qualifications which are there, and we can't compete with ACCA. There is no need for us to launch anything related to accounting and finance in distance learning, because employers actually have a bit more faith in ACCA accounting and finance than MSc in accounting and finance degrees, and therefore we just can't compete. And we just want to work in line with the ACCA, but not to launch accounting and finance as an MSc program. This is what the employers told us to do. So, and we have listened in a sense. So let's go back. So next session application deadline is 15th of February, and enrollment date is March the 1st, and the start date is April the 12th. So then the session 4 is application deadline is April 26th. Enrollment is May the 10th, and the session starts June 21st. So as you may see that basically we have 4 sessions, and you can start any session you like: September, November, February, or April, and that's how it goes. So we are pretty much into flexibility. But when we are a bit less flexible, it comes to this point. So how is the studying at SAFIMS organized? This is very important to explain to you because this is why we don't see the need for having pre-recorded lectures at such a point, because you have a study material for each week, from week 1 till week 4, and you have per each 12 of you, you have one tutor who is guiding you through that material and helping you one to one through to go through that. And you have a forum on virtual learning environment. It is all on the virtual learning environment, so you can interact with your peers as much as you want or as little as you want. So it all depends on your liking. On week 5, you have a reading week and a writing week where you submit your first assignment, which is 15% of your total assessment. It's worth like that. So this is your first assignment. uh, After submitting your first assignment, you get a feedback on how you have done it and what you need to develop further, and it gives you some grounding to study further material in week 6 and 9. So there are 4 more weeks of studying, again guided and interaction, similar to week 1 to 4, as much as you want or as little as you need. And week 10 is again a reading week and a writing week, where after week 10 you submit your second assignment. So, and your second assignment is also worth 15%. And both feedback you get from your first and second assignment, you will use in order to prepare yourself for an exam. An exam is usually in September, October, and it is administered by University of London. Because of COVID-19, exam used to be in last year, and this year exam is online. But it used to be administered by the British Council before, and it was done in regional teaching centers. So we don't know how it's going to work in the foreseeable future, but at the moment we have the students are writing an online proctored exam. And when it comes to studying at SAFEMS, I would like to highlight that there is a comprehensive study pack which you get with all your units, textbooks, and reading. So 100 years ago, you used to receive a big box by boat, which was delivered at your address. Now we work in a bit of a digital environment. Yeah. Yes, I have a question. No. Of course not. Not only not only in UK zone. It's usually it is 72 hours or 48 hours, depends on the on uh, module, but it is you have enough time, and it's not proctored just for the just in the UK for just in the UK time zone. And it's a very good question. I thought I would get this question sooner or later. So So yeah, what you get? You get a digital access to study pack units, textbooks, and readings. You have a platform, Cortex, where you can access all what you need, all the textbooks and all the readings you need. You have it. You have it all ready and set up for you. You get a code and you access it with your unique personal code. And uh, we use a virtual learning environment, Blackboard, as we also call it, where you have all the units are also on a virtual learning environment. The forum is there, and you can have one-to-one sessions with your tutor on virtual learning environment. As I mentioned before, you have one tutor per 12 students in for each academic session. One of the good points studying on distance is that you have an access to the library of SOAS and also University of London Library. Not only SOAS, but also St. House Library and University of London Library, so which you may use in order to enrich your knowledge, and if you want to go beyond simply textbooks and recommended readings. The you will have even when you graduate, you will have an alumni access to all this electronic material. So you will always have an alumni access. And another point what I would like to mention is that you have also study skills resources. So guidance related to plagiarism, guidance related to how to write an essay, how to write an exam, um, proofreading as well for yourself. So you have these materials as well, which you can access. Referencing is quite important for University of London, so you have it all as a part of your resources. For an entry requirement, what do you need to have? You should have an upper second class UK bachelor's degree, honors degree, or international equivalent in any discipline. The only exemption to this in any discipline is quantitative finance, where you need to be a bit more geared towards numerical skills. So anything more numerical engineering or mathematics or natural sciences would do much better. But this is not a requirement for every program, because we have a list of modules, and some of the modules are really they need you to have some numeric literacy, and you will be advised not to take them if you don't have it. But for like 90% of the modules, you can still take either you are not a genius in maths. So also relevant professional experience will be taken into account. It is not a requirement, but it is helpful usually, and it can help you with with your application. If, for instance, you have lower second class or 2-2, and you have some work experience, you may still and write a good application. You will still be able to take the program and be accepted. And last but not the least, what is the fee? The fee for each of the MSc programs in £10,500, regardless national. We don't have this kind of a international student fees. It is all one flat fee of £10,500, and each module, if you decide to go through the road of module per module, you have to pay £1,750 per module. So you don't get any discount if you take immediately MSc. It doesn't operate like that, but you can take module by module as well. Although it's for most of the students, it's easier just to take MSc to commit for an MSc, and most of our students, probably 93% study straight for an MSc degree. So you may have a bit of a taste of SEFIMS on our futurelearn.com website. So this is our partner MOOCs provider, where you can have some of the units and have some of a taster of some of our units. For instance, risk management in the global economy, teaching migration through data and storytelling, understanding public financial management. How is your money spent? These are some of the taste sessions which you can take by yourself and see how it goes. So this is, for instance, risk management in the global economy. And here you can see also on SEFIM's website, it's available to download all the materials if you're a bit more interested to first to have a taster to see how it goes. I got a question. I will come to I will come to the scholarship option in a minute. At the moment, we don't have SOAS scholarships at the moment. Actually, we do have, but they are very competitive at this point. We mostly have scholarships for PhD level, but for a master's, it is more competitive. And for instance, we had scholarships for migrants and refugees, and for studying on campus. But for distance learning, it is easier to work with one of our partners when it comes to scholarships. And this is one of my next slides. I will speak about it right now. So these are the destinations where our graduate students found their employment, and some of those international institutions are our are in partnership with us. So, for instance, those who are employed in the World Bank that get a discount when they study with us. As far as I remember, there is also United Nations or discount as well for the students, for our students, and CIF Africa as well is giving for their members 15% of a discount. So we have some of those discounts which our partners actually administer for their employees to take on board. But when it comes to partnerships, it is when it comes to scholarships, it is a bit of a difficulty at the moment. If for any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me on sc83@soas.ac.uk, or you can send me a voice message on this phone number. I'm not in the office, but I'm able to read the voicemail, which may be useful. I would like to hear now if you have any further questions for now. We have gone through most of the interesting parts, and it's just a bit about how it is to study at SAFIMS. But if you have any further questions, please, I'm happy to answer them.
I'll just to remind you as well, in addition to Senya, if you want to pop it in the chat, please feel free
Yeah.
to. I feel that obviously Senya's been going and answering questions along the way as well. So it may be that we've covered them all, but please do either pop them in the chat or use the Q&A feature. Or if you
Yeah.
raise your hands, you'll be unmuted and you can ask the question directly. But I do advise prompting to kind of ask questions now because it's a good space to hear from the academic, or obviously taking note of Senya's email to kind of pitch your questions to her
Yeah.
directly.
Oh, I got
Yeah. So, what advice would you give for approaching study sessions?
four.
Approaching study sessions?
Yeah, good point with approaching study sessions is that it is flexible. You have your first point of contact, which is your tutor, and the first point I would do, I would read the guidance and speak directly to the tutor and ask any questions, whatever need to be asked, any kind of uh, uh, point which needs to be um, further explained in a better way. So I would clearly, first point would be of contact would be to ask the tutor. And another point I would say is it's important also because it's all working digitally right now. That you have an access, that you are quite familiar with how to gain an access to everything what you need to do. And the third point, what I would like to put here is you will be given a SOAS email address, and to use that email address when communicated with us, because we had a couple of times we have students who have received all their cues, all their key material, everything on SOAS email address, but they expect it on their Gmail or their Hotmail address, and that was a bit of a clash in communication. So I would first say that as well. But the first point of contact would be to have a chat with the tutor. Our tutors are usually already academics who have done PhDs at SOAS or in other London University of London spaces, and are located all over the world, and they still keep in touch with us and work with us. Also, some of our tutors are retired professors as well, who still work quite hard then don't want to give up academia that easily, and they are full of knowledge to help you go through everything what you need to ask. And another point I would like to answer here, although it wasn't a question, but I would like to say one more point, which might be important for some of you, is that when you graduate on your graduation certificate, it doesn't say that it's been a distance learning program. Doesn't say anywhere. I know that some countries are still quite wary of distance learning programs because of all those new degree mills and degree machine universities. But we have been distance learning for a long period of time, and we are a credible provider. But still, we don't write anywhere that it was a distance learning program. Another point I would like to say also is that this is University of London degree. So on your certificate you have University of London diploma. Either you are doing a PG cert, postgraduate diploma, or MSc degree. It's awarded as University of London.
Brilliant. There's another question coming. It says, can we
Yes.
know structure, like how much time do we need to devote to each week?
Yeah.
Will tutors give individual hours and how many?
Yes. So individually per week, it is 2 to 4 hours of studying. I would say 4 hours for most of the modules. Some of the modules, if for instance there is a need for some extra from time to time, there is a need for some extra guidance, and probably during the reading week while you're writing your assignment, you would probably need a bit more than 2 to 4 hours. But I would say 2 to 4 hours has been like an on average per week.
And it also says, will tutors give individual hours and how many? So I guess that's in relation to kind of being
Yeah.
able to contact yourself.
The tutors are having during the reading session, they're having as much as you need hours with them. So there is it's quite structured in such a way that we know those 4 weeks when it's a study period, when the units are starting, we are all geared into that, and our tutors are really geared simply for that, and they really make themselves available to be able to do this in that particular time.
Brilliant. If there's no other questions, um, I've, I've not seen anything else coming through. I'd probably wrap it up here then. So, thank you very,
Brilliant.
very much, Dr. Geneza, for presenting. I think that was very informative to me, and I hope it was to our attendees.
Oh, there
Like,
is another question. Q&A, something
brilliant.
else?
I know it says thank you. It's a
Good,
thank
good,
you.
good.
So yeah, what I would advise again to the attendees is maybe take a note of the email. So if you do have any follow-up questions, obviously you're more than welcome to message in, or you can message into the general email address as well, and we'll do our best to kind of get back to you if you have any further queries. The recording will be made available at a later date. So if you do want to kind of obviously review what's been spoken about today, we will be making the recording available as well. So yeah, thank you very much, and thank you very
Oh,
much.
just one more
Yeah.
thing to say.
Yes, please.
You don't need to come at all to the University of London. The only time you have to come is if you want to be awarded your degree. That's the only time we want to see you. And we have during non-COVID times, we used to have amazing parties at the end in our Japanese gardens. So it's always great to meet with the colleagues with whom you have studied for 2-3 years, and then finally you meet in the Japanese gardens and celebrate your success together. That's another point I would like to say. Anyways, enough of me. SC83. Anyone else would like? Anyone has any further messages? And hope to hear from you you soon. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.